This is a short discourse on universal language. It is important to understand that the languages that we are using are anthropocentric. This means that they function only between human beings. We can talk, we can express so many beautiful and exact things, but it is human consciousness that can approach all these messages that we produce. But we are now interested to create another type of civilization which would be based in cooperation with Gaia, with the consciousness of our planet, with the consciousness of the Earth. So, how can we create such a civilization of coexistence if we do not know a language to talk to other worlds that compose our planetary home? So I think that one of the important tasks that inspires us in this moment is how to develop a language that not just human beings, but also animals or plants, elemental beings, all other beings of the Earth and universe could understand in a way. I call it universal language, and certainly it is not a rational language, even if rational logic is part of that language. But basically, according to my experience, it is a language that is composed of images. It is based on emotional qualities. It is a language of bodily expression. It is a language of symbols. Yes, this is what many cultures, I could say all the cultures of the past, knew very well, and also the modern culture is using this kind of methods of expression, let us say. But the universal language is something more. It is a holographic language. This means that it is a language that brings about, that makes real, in a way, that what is being talked about. It is not a language to communicate something, like to bring a message across only. But it is a creative language, which means that speaking something, you can bring it into the form of universal language only if you are that what you are speaking. If you are capable to embody this quality, then this quality is being communicated. Communication in itself, the word, as you know, does not mean just to bring about a message, but it means also to connect. It means community, togetherness. It means that the language is something that connects, that builds. It is a creative endeavor. It is not about information. Information is just a tiny part of it. The most important is building community, communication, building community. There is no community without language that is common to all those beings who participate in a community. And if we aim towards a culture, I call it geoculture, a culture that could be able to create a community of all beings that take part in the evolution of the Earth on the levels visible and invisible, then we need a method, we need a tool how this community to be created, to be held together, how the communication can flow. And this is, I think, why the interest for the universal language it has such a central place in our search for a new culture, because it is not just looking for a language that animals would understand and plants and angelic beings could understand, but also looking for a creative tool that connects us, that can bring about such a community. And the language is, I think, that tool. If it is understood as a holographic language, which means that what is being created is part of the language. Speaking a language means co-creating reality. So we should ask ourselves, do we have some images, some visions that would help us to reconstruct such a universal language? I believe the crop circles are such an example, how Gaia, the Earth's consciousness, is trying to communicate with us human beings. It is a language that can be seen. You know these beautiful photographs of crop circles. We admire the aesthetics of the image, or one can understand the symbolics of those images. But if one stands in such a circle, then one feels specific qualities that are not just expressed through the circle, but the circle is a medium through which Gaia is sending out a call, information, a message, is being constantly pushed through this pattern that is created in the grain. And this pattern is being distributed, becomes part of the aura of the Earth. It changes the quality of the Earth's environment, of the space. All beings can participate in these messages. They become part of ourselves. So giving a message means also changing or creating opportunities, better to say, for people or other beings to change. It is not just giving out information. Also, I believe that old cultures, when they were creating their little objects that they were using in their daily life or wearing as ornaments on their vestments, I think that all this was not done because of decoration, but it was done so that the communication with living consciousness of nature, of the earth all around us, would be constantly contacted, that the contact would be alive, that the people who were part of these cultures would be in constant communication. I speak of such ornaments as cosmograms. Cosmograms are signs that are not just symbols and not just codification of some information, but they are signs that connect, that have a quality of, yes, to connect. So that people wearing these cosmograms or moving within them, if their temples were created as cosmograms, they would be in dialogue, in constant dialogue with divinity, with angelic beings, with beings of other dimensions, with life itself. So the language is not, in this sense, is not just something that would be spoken in some occasions when we want to change some thoughts or ideas. But the language is a way of being, be it personal. In this sense, I speak of language of perception. If we perceive beyond the rational way of thinking, so we need a language to understand what we perceive. The world beyond the physical form is just vibration, is a very rich field of vibration, and we need a language. Part of universal language makes possible that we perceive the world around us, even what we see as mountains, as trees and landscape around us, we can understand as a specific language. It is a way how our consciousness translates those vibrations so that we can understand them, that we can orientate, that we get a feeling for the world around us, so that we can co-create or coexist with the life around us. I think we are not aware how important the language is, and if we are capable to speak a rational language, why would we not be also able to speak a much more free, pluridimensional, a holographic language? In my practice of working with the landscapes and with revitalization of places, I use cosmograms to communicate with the consciousness of the given environment or landscape. This means that the universal language can be used in a practical sense. I teach also this method of creating cosmograms, and there are specific laws, but let us talk about this some other time.